Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ramblin Reploids. I'm Coleman X, and I'm joined with.
Twitch from Reploid REVO.
Thank you for coming,
Of course.
and thank you, everyone out there, for coming.
Definitely.
And today is the first, I guess, request episode. If you are not aware, I have a channel membership thing, and if you are a double A class hunter, which is currently the highest rank, you can tell us what to talk about in one of these. So this is the first one. Thank you to The Real Zero for, I guess, sponsoring this episode.
Yeah, I guess it is technically a sponsorship. Thank you, The Real Zero. Definitely no fake zeros up in here.
It's funny because on Discord he's called Fake Zero.
Yeah, I know exactly who he is.
But yes, thank you so much. And the topic we were requested was a good one, I think. It's going to be our favorite songs in the Mega Man series.
That's correct. We're going to be talking about our favorite tracks. Now, I believe there's no special criteria. These can come from anywhere in the Mega Man franchise. So,
Yeah.
I tried picking my most favorite toe tappers. Although I do have a lot of favorites from each franchise or each series, so it's really difficult to pick like just one.
Yeah, and I feel like my choices would change from day to day. This is just how I'm feeling right now. But my number one is always my number one. It'll always be my number one. But the rest of them are just we'll have honorable mentions. But we picked 5 each. And we're gonna go through. We're all gonna listen to them, and then we're gonna talk about them.
Yeah, for sure.
Oops. All right. Well, I'm gonna start with the first one, and my first choice is. Shade Man from Mega Man 7. Now it's a fun one. It sounds at the same time creepy but energetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of energy to it, and it still feels very like Mega Man-y.
Yeah. It's got like that like bump and feel.
Yeah, it doesn't go full Castlevania.
Yeah. There we go. That's a good way to say it. It's got the spooky without the full like gothic stuff. I think
It's got
I think
the
it's
castle,
half.
but no Vania.
There we go. I think it's half the instruments. Like the instruments for Mega Man 7 were always like some of my favorites.
Yeah, those always were some really good instrument choices.
I think all the Super Nintendo games have good instrumentation. Now that I'm really thinking about it, they
Yeah,
did.
they really
They did
do.
really good. Did really good. But yeah, that's my first choice. I love how it sounds spooky. You know, like it makes sense in that level that you would see giant pumpkin and the knights that come to life.
Of course,
You know,
Giant
and the
Pumpkin. Can't forget him.
yo, I love in that stage the werewolf bots that when the moon goes away, they turn back into the knights. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's so cool though.
And I mean,
It's
that
curse
is
of
the
the curse of the
important
wolf
thing.
bots.
It's the rule of cool. If it's cool to do, then that's all that matters.
Yeah. But that's my first choice. What do you got for us first?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So, my first choice is a fairly obvious one, but that one is going to be... And that is the X1 intro stage. I consider this song to be a classic of Mega Man. It is kind of like one of the quintessential theme songs. It's been remixed to death in both official and unofficial capacities. It's just kind of like one of those songs which encapsulates the feeling of Mega Man X.
Yeah. I was too busy. I was too busy just rocking out to it.
I mean, it is a great song. I get the feeling from this song a slight sense of like desperation.
Yes.
It's not necessarily like desperate in that like, oh no, this is like solemn and like what are we going to do? Which is kind of the feeling I get from like the X4 intro stage for X. This is more like, you know, like the world is in disarray and you're the only person who can save it. And like I feel like that's what this theme song is all about, is like, you know, X is going out there and he's gonna save the world because he's the only person who can do it. And like, this isn't like a triumphant theme song, and this isn't like a, I don't know, it isn't kind of like a bad guy theme. It just kind of encapsulates the idea of like, you know, you're a one-man army against the world trying to, you know, stop this bad guy. And like, that's all you can really do, you know?
And I think you can kind of hear like X's inexperience kind of in there, because it's like it doesn't sound hopeful yet, you know? Like it sounds like, oh man, it's up to me now. You know what I mean?
It's not hopeful. That's a good way of putting it. It doesn't sound hopeful. It just kind of sounds like, you know, like this is a serious mission that he's on. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, yeah, just like he's like, oh man, everyone basically has turned on me. You know, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like the song of he didn't run away. You know, he still went forward, even though, you know, he's not powerful enough to defeat him.
That's you fool! Did you honestly expect to defeat me?
No.
No.
That's really something about the whole X1 soundtrack to me. It's like you can tell that they put kind of their everything into it. You know, like they really wanted it to succeed. And one example I have about that, mild tangent, but it's the Boss Select song.
Oh, I love that theme. Boss Select
it's got
is
like
so good.
I know, because it's got like verses. You know, it's not just like 10 notes that repeat. Yeah. No, this one has like this one, you know, like it starts off small and then the drums kick in and then it's like this whole thing. You know, so it really kind of feels like with X1 they wanted it to be special, and it turns out it was. And starting off with this song and then like the title screen song too, is just such a good way to start a new series.
Yeah, the stage select I always thought was really interesting because it's kind of like, I mean, that was honestly going to be my choice if it wasn't this, the highway theme. Because both of those, I feel, really get the feeling of X1 and just the X series in general down really well. Is that it's kind of like, I don't even know how to describe that theme song. It almost sounds like a military thing. Like, it's kind of fun, but it's not too fun. You know, it's just kind of like, all right, here we go. You're about to go pick a mission. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I can hear the military thing because it's got like sort of a march to it, like in the back. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I get you.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of War. What is it good for? You know, like, it's kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like, you know. And then, you know, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know if I'm alone in that, but you know, that's what I hear anyway in my head.
Well, if that's all we have to say about the highway stage,
yeah,
I think we should move on to my next choice, which is the Mega Man 5 weapon get screen. I think I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm pretty biased about this, because Mega Man 5 was the one that I had growing up. But, like, I don't know, it's something about the... Just, like, how hard and fast that song is.
Yeah, it's, like, really going. Like, I'm waiting for, like, you know, like a hardcore, like, Duane BrandO verse to just kick in somewhere, you know what I mean?
Man, rest in peace.
Bum, ba-da-ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-ba-dum. It's just
then,
like, dang.
And just the visual of Mega Man spinning around, just getting a new power, and just spinning around. Like, man, I could watch that all day. And then it goes into the password song, and it's just like...
bro.
every one of these, we talk about spinning being a good thing. So,
yeah,
you know, game designers at home,
yes.
Just spin to win.
Spin to win.
But, you know, it flows so seamlessly into the password song. It's like this real hard and heavy song, and then it's like, now it's like fun and upbeat. It's like, yeah, you did it, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. It does have a kind of like a certain flow to it.
But yeah, that one's always been my favorite weapon get, at least from the classic series. For the X series, I flip flop between those a lot. But yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. It goes really hard, and it goes into the password screen pretty well. I guess it's funny because I feel like that's a stark contrast from how the password from X1 is. Like, you know, in Mega Man X1, when you get a weapon, it's like do 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 boo boo boo.
Yeah, it's like kind of,
and then it's like
bumping and jazzy.
It's basically like the Matrix lobby music. I don't know if you want to like put in like 3 seconds of that, or maybe just link to it. I don't want you to get copyright claimed, but it's the exact same beat from the Matrix lobby sequence, except in that sequence there's like a little like record scratch at the beginning. It's like, and then they start doing like all the crazy stuff. It's the same thing in X1, except there's no little intro. Yeah, it's the exact same beat. I don't know if like whoever composed that was like a fan of Mega Man X, but it's like, that's what it is. And then after that, this really hardcore, cool, kind of like techno badass theme song. You get this really pleasant password music that doesn't match at all. Like,
oh man, the password song is like on X1 is so nostalgic.
Oh, I love it. Like, it's the greatest, but it just doesn't flow.
Oh no,
just speaking of flowing, that's like the polar opposite. Those two don't go together at all.
You flip the coin over, and then it's like dun 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 dun. Oh, okay. that one makes it feel better after you know, like, and you don't beat the level, but you lose all your lives.
Like that's a song.
It's like, oh well.
That song is like patting you on the back, like it's okay, you'll do it next time. Like it just,
yeah, good try, buddy. Here's a chocolate milk.
I feel like if it wasn't as soft on you, I feel like it actually would have discouraged people when they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like because Mega Man X for some people was like very daunting.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know, something about that. Like if the music is too like hardcore and like you lose, and the music makes you feel like an idiot, you know, like you're gonna be discouraged. But that music just kind of makes you feel like it's okay. You'll give it your best shot next time.
I think it's like Mega Man 2 or 3 or something. Like the game over music, like it sounds like it's taunting you. It's like da na 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 na.
Oh, I don't know, man. Probably.
Oh well. Mega Man 5 weapon get.
Yeah,
there you go.
I believe it's a 3-second loop, and it goes really hard. It's the most intense 3 seconds you'll ever experience. So, coming off the heels of Mega Man 5, I'm gonna jump into a classic one. I'm gonna go around my predetermined order and actually go into a classic one real quick, so that I have like a nice mix up here. I personally really like this little ditty. The Mega Man 1 ending theme. And
wait, that wasn't the opening to Mega Man 2?
Oh my goodness, no, it wasn't. Little known fact, because nobody actually willingly plays Mega Man 1. The ending theme to Mega Man 1 is the intro theme to Mega Man 2, which I think is super cool because it's almost as if where one game ends, the other one begins, which I think is a nice little flow. And you know, I feel like the instruments in Mega Man 2 are better though, but that's just because I think the cartridges were getting better. You could, do more clever stuff with it. But I like the ending to Mega Man 1, not just because it's the intro to Mega Man 2, but because it then goes into this other part, which I feel accurately like sums up, again, these songs that I'm picking, I feel just kind of sum up the feeling of Mega Man. This is one of my all-time favorite songs because I think it captures the spirit of Mega Man, heading home after a long and difficult battle. And even though the music is happy, it's not necessarily like triumphant. It's not like, woohoo, we beat Wily, hooray, let's go throw a party, it's gonna be great. No, it's like he goes home, and the music is kind of almost telling you, like, okay, you've won, but like it's not over yet. Like, don't let your guard down. Which is kind of like, a good feeling, because that's kind of how Mega Man is, You beat Wily, he goes home, but Mega Man always knows, like, someday he might come back, and I'm gonna have to do something about it. And I feel like the music really kind of reflects that in how it starts off very happy, but it kind of has this shift somewhere in the middle, where it's like da da na na da na na da na na, and it's kind of telling you like, hey, you won, but there's still more fighting that you might have to do. And then I feel at the end is when it finally goes to that last little bit, right before Mega Man jumps, which is kind of like, all right, keep that in mind. It's still on your mind, but Mega Man gets to celebrate his victory for now, and that's when he goes and transforms into his basketball shorts and jumps like 40 feet tall, 40 feet in the air, and Roll and Dr. Wily are just like, amazing.
Dr. Wily.
I mean, Dr. Shut up.
Actually, Dr. Wily's the antagonist.
Well, I mean, Dr. Wily, would be like, Mega Man, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting dunked on.
Yeah, come on, Wily, you got those moves? What's up? You thought you were hot shit in soccer. Come see me on the court. I don't know. It's just I feel it's a great song that I wish they would actually use more often. I mean, I know it's the ending for Mega Man 1. Like, I wish they would use it more often. Kind of like they do the Mega Man 2 intro, because they took that part of the ending and made it its own song. And it has like a slightly different composition, usually towards like the latter half. But I want this Mega Man 1 ending to kind of like be redone a little bit more, have more, do more with it. But at the same time, I guess that's kind of what makes it special, is like it's a one-time theme that only seems to play when you beat Mega Man 1, and I can't think of any, very many places where you hear this song elsewhere. Aside, of course, from the version of it that the Megas did, and I love the Megas. Shout out to the Megas. I will plug them in any video I can. They did a version of that song. It's actually the final Wily stage for Mega Man 1, and then it transitions into the ending to Mega Man 1, and they put lyrics to it. And it's really good, and it's one of my favorite songs ever. So
everyone go check out the Megas.
Everyone go listen to the Megas. The song you're looking for is called "The Fall." You'll want to check that out, or "Look What You've Done." It goes. I think it has a couple different titles. I could just be wrong, but really, really good stuff. Man, I love them. So yeah, that's my bias. I feel like it encapsulates the feeling of Mega Man winning, but also, being cautious that, the never-ending battle continues.
Yeah. It's not over yet.
Yeah, basically. So that's the feeling that I get. Like, you've won, enjoy yourself, but don't let your guard down. There's always going to be more justice out there in the world that needs to be delivered.
Yeah. I had a certain feeling when I first heard this song, and I've seen other people express this as well. Like, people that played Mega Man 2 before they beat Mega Man 1, and it's like, whoa, it comes from something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, just
exactly.
That realization is pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I really do like that feeling. Like, the first time, that's what happened to me. It actually had more impact to me because I had heard the Mega Man 2 intro done
same.
so many times. Like, it was an extremely popular song. And then I played Mega Man 1, and I'm like, oh, this song has so much more meaning. Like, it always bothered me that, like, the main theme of Mega Man always seems to be associated with the intro to Mega Man 2. That seems to be the quote-unquote theme song for Mega Man. And it always bothered me. I'm like, man, that's not fair. Like, why does Mega Man 2 get all the credit? Shouldn't it be like the song from Mega Man 1? And then I'm like, oh, Mega Man 1 doesn't have a title screen song. but it does have an ending theme, and that's where Mega Man 2 gets it. And therefore, even though people are calling it the Mega Man 2 intro, I am retroactively giving it a pass for being the theme song of Mega Man, because it is actually the ending to Mega Man 1.
Yes.
So I give it a pass, and I like it even more now. It's much more significant that way.
Yeah, I think it sounds better in 1. It's got those emotions that we talked about.
Well, yeah, it's exactly. It's doing it's a different song with a different purpose. You know.
Yeah.
I should also mention it's not the entire Mega Man 2 theme song, but it's part of it.
Yeah.
Go listen to it. I mean, you are listening to it. It's in the video. Whatever. Moving on.
Well, speaking of theme songs.
Yes.
Super Fighting Robot, Mega Man. It's so good.
How could anyone
so
not
good.
love? This is the quintessential theme song to Mega Man because it applies to like any Mega Man. Honestly, like,
Yeah.
it's so good. Oh, well, I guess except for Battle Network because you know he's not a robot, but whatever. Super
looks
Fighting
robotic.
Program.
There you go.
I don't
Super
know.
Fighting Executable.
Yeah.
But man, this was Mega Man to me when I was younger. You know, before I got Mega Man 5. Like I said earlier, I didn't have any Mega Man games, but I knew about the cartoon, and this was Mega Man.
Yeah.
You know, as far as I knew, like he was the super fighting robot. He was plasma power.
This is what got me into Mega Man was this cartoon. I didn't have any games. I went. I mean, it's funny because I went straight from Ruby Spears to Mega Man X, and I was very confused from a lore perspective. Yeah, Ruby Spears. Man, that song goes hard. Like right from the first like couple of seconds. Boom! It just hits you in the face like, yeah, that's right, we're gonna go save the world, you know, and it's like, man, like, you know, and there's for a song with so few lyrics, it just works. Like,
it's really good.
Like, I'm gonna say, this is gonna sound silly, maybe this is even diminishing its value. It's on the same level as Go-Go Power Rangers, in that you can just, all you need is Super Fighting Robot. Like, that's all you need. You know? The song is just good.
Like people still reference it, you know, now that aren't really completely in the circle. Like that really famous Smash clip with the Final Smash thing.
And the guy's like, Super Fighting Robot!
Oh my god, I saw that live. I was at my in place. And then, like, they're all just being a family, and I'm sitting over here watching people play Smash Live, and then I'm just, like, marking out, because it's like, Super Fighting Robot! Like, yes,
that guy.
Validation!
Oh, man. That dude, like, we were all him in that moment. Like, we weren't all screaming, but he was doing all the screaming for us, because that is how we all felt. Like, it was
he said the words.
good.
He said the words. Time to save the world! Like, yes,
it's. I wonder. I don't know who wrote that theme song. I'm gonna have to research that at some point before this goes up. But man, they struck gold.
Yeah. It's
oof.
really good.
It's really, really good, and there's something about the phrase "super fighting robot" that I feel transcends music, because as a nice foil to this, which you might want to put a clip of this in as well, is the German intro to
I don't like
Mega
that
Man.
one.
I like that one. Okay, so let me explain. It's not as good as Super Fighting Robot, but they use the same lyrics because they know that Super Fighting Robot is catchy as all hell. Mega Man, super fighting robot. It's not that bad. I mean, you know, I know it's weird, but it's you know, they definitely saw that there was some potential in the original theme song.
Maybe they thought that was his full name.
Maybe.
Super Fighting Robot Mega Man.
Well, no, they say Mega Man Super Fighting Robot, so it'd be like Mega Man :
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Mega Man Super Fighting Robot Esquire.
Yeah, whatever the heck it is, you know.
But yeah, that song is so good, and just the opening in general is amazing. And that part when Mega Man's getting built, and then he opens his eyes for the first time, he looks all stern, and then he just softens up and just barely smiles like, that is Mega Man.
I was really hooked from even before that is when you can hear like the only way I can describe it is future guitar. You hear the future guitar going, and you see like
Mega Man
running to the beat of the guitar, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, like, you know. And then it's like the words come on screen like bum, 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 bum. It's like, oh, that's so awesome! Like it, you know, it just everything about this theme song is like, mwah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I don't know why they haven't used it anywhere else. Like, do they not have the rights? Like, bring it back. Like, I just want to see it done again in some official capacity. It's like the Mortal Kombat theme song. You know what I mean? Like, everyone loves that theme song, but they just don't use it in anything. I mean, I guess they technically brought it back for Mortal Kombat 11. They were like, fine, you can have it. It only took us, like, what, 30 years or however old it is? I don't know. Yeah. But it's never really been used for anything else. Not to bring it back to the Megas, but they did covers of both the American and German intro to Mega Man, both of which are awesome. And my favorite part is at the part where it normally shows Dr. Wily like destroying the city and like Napalm Man and everything's blowing up and whatever. They just made up the sound effects with their mouths and just put that on top of it. So I'm like, all right, more power to you guys. Yeah, like literally that. Just so I mean, like it definitely captured the feeling of like, you know, being a kid on a Saturday morning and catching like an episode of Mega Man. It was really very high energy song, super good. I would have picked it, but I knew that you picked it, so
yeah. And if you want to see us gush about Ruby Spears, just watch Mega March from last year.
Yes, go check out Mega March.
That was kind of the soft pilot for this. Us just kind of talking about stuff.
Yeah, we're just going back and vibing. I hope vibing doesn't like date this video. Like I hope that's still a phrase a couple of years from now, so that we don't sound like old men. Yeah, it was. We just sat down, watched episodes of Ruby Spears, and then just gushed about how much we liked it or hated it or laughed at it, because you will experience the full spectrum of emotions while watching Ruby Spears.
But one emotion you get with every episode is just the highest, like, just
is hype.
Boom, you know.
You always feel hype, no matter how stupid it is, because even when Mega Man and Roll have turned into cave bots, you will still somehow experience hype. Like, yeah, Mega Man's got a stupid brown mullet, but whatever. You know, all right. Oh, Roll, your forehead is like a 5-head, but all right, cool. Yeah, so good. Yeah. That was awesome.
Because when he copies the power, it starts playing like an instrumental of the theme song, and they know what they're doing. It gets you excited. It could be Curse of the Lion. I'm still hyped.
I was gonna say, yeah, even Curse of the Lion Man, I'd still be hype. You know why I was hyping Curse of the Lion Man? Because they went to the beach and they had all those really cool surfer dudes. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Lion Titty.
Oh my god, well that's there too, but that's not a reason for me to get hype. I was talking about the guy who was surfing and he just looked really cool, and then he gets turned into a lion.
Still cool.
It was just a very, like, 90s idea of what cool... You know, come to think of it, this explains a whole lot. Like, not to go off topic, but when I was talking with Lucas, he was telling me, like, oh, my idea of what cool was is, like, being a surfer dude. And I'm like, no, where the hell did he get that idea from? And then I just remembered back in the 90s, like, how much surfer iconography there was everywhere.
Yep.
Like, he's not that much older than me, so...
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Twitch and Lucas Gilbertson interview, please check it out. It's fantastic. You'll learn a lot.
He's a super cool guy. is very, very nice. And if any of you remember back when Command Mission first came out, I believe Command Mission was the first one, you might have noticed that Zero kind of sounds like a surfer dude, and that's because his voice direction was to, you know, just sound cool. And so his idea of a surfer dude was cool. Like, hey, if I sound like a surfer, that makes me sound cool. And now that we're coming back to the, you know, Mega Man Ruby Spears cartoon, yeah, in the 90s, there was a lot of surfer stuff, like, everywhere. Now that I think about it, so, I don't know.
Everyone wanted to be extreme, dude.
Extreme, dude, to the max. Radical.
Thanks, Hyphen.
Capri Sun.
Yeah!
Woo! It's Nerf for nothing! I don't know.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah. You guys remember Discovery Zone? Whoa! It's the much cooler and less dorky cousin to Chuck E. Cheese, but it looks like only one of them went out.
Woo!
Woo! Bankruptcy! Apparently a mouse with safety skateboarding gear, like a helmet, elbow, and knee pads, is way cooler than, you know, the generic Discovery Zone.
Hey, they had Miss Pac-Man, yeah.
Discovery Zone was hella tight, because they had like a cool obstacle course you could run through, and they had, okay, so like the Power Ranger movie had just come out, and they have this like tiny zip line you can go through, and I remember the Blue Ranger does like a zip line, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, I want to do that, and so like I used to pretend I was the Blue Ranger going down the zip line because it was cool.
Oh, so cute.
I know, right?
Super Fighting Robot and Mega Man.
Yes, there's not much to say, and we both, I mean, there is a lot to say, but there's not much variety because it's just a feeling of hype, and there's also literally not much to say. I think the total amount of lyrics in this song is like, let me see, Super Fighting Robot Mega Man, I'm going to count that as one word, fighting to save the world. So that's, what, like 9 lyrics?
There's 2 fightings. Super Fighting Robot Mega Man.
Right.
To save the world. 8.
Okay, so I guess you're not counting the other fighting.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Unique lyrics. Yeah.
Unique lyrics, I would say, yeah. But so yeah, 8 or 9, depending on how you want to slice it. But in just that small amount of words, they managed to hype you up for an episode every single time.
Yep, and it tells you a lot about the show.
Yeah, it weirdly does. I mean, the animation does. The animation is what tells you, but then also just super fighting robot. Oh, okay, he's a robot who fights superbly, I guess. Like, yeah. Whatever. And then at the end, he's fighting to save the world. All right, cool. I got it. Everything I need to know. It's kind of like the Ninja Turtles theme song, which was written specifically to introduce you to the Turtles because it was such a crazy concept.
It does a good job.
They made the theme song. It's like, Raphael's cool but rude, and Donatello does machines, and Michelangelo's a party dude, all that other stuff. They just tell you everything you need to know. So for Mega Man, it's that he's a super fighting robot and he's here to save the world.
Yep, late 80s and early 90s theme songs, really, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, and then there's just X-Men, who's there is no introduction required, just...
It gets stuck in your head. Speaking of Scott McNeil.
Oh, no. Wait, was he on X-Men?
Right. He was Wolverine.
Wait, he was Wolverine? I didn't know he was Wolverine.
I'm pretty sure.
Alright, hold on. We gotta pause this episode. We gotta look this up right now. Get the hell out of here. He's Wolverine. I'm sure he was on X-Men, because he's in everything.
Alright, let's find out. Let's see. Okay, he was Wolverine in X-Men Evolution. Sorry.
Okay, that I can hear. I remember that Wolverine very distinctly.
Alright.
Okay, so mystery solved.
Yep. Now back to our regularly scheduled show.
Yes, now back
X-Men Evolution Wolverine.
Yes, X-Men Evolution was also a half decent show, so I give that's good.
Yeah.
So
what's your next choice?
So my next choice of song is this one. So that is the Proof of Courage. Specifically, the Mega Man Battle Network 3 version. Although you, of course, can check out the Battle Network 1 and 2 versions. They're both basically the same song, just slightly different compositions. I picked this song because not a lot of people know this. Judging by my YouTube channel, everyone seems to think I'm avoiding Battle Network. But I'm actually a humongous Battle Network fan. I love Battle Network. I mean, admittedly, I kind of stopped playing after 3, but like I do like Battle Network a lot. And this theme song is just so hype. It's so good.
It's really good.
This particular song is what plays usually when the heroes are going to turn the situation around and pull through against like whatever challenge they're coming across. I don't know the specific scenarios from each game in which it plays. But all you gotta know is that it's what plays when, you know, they're not gonna give up. It's kind of like their you know, stand up strong anthem. Like, I don't know how else to put it.
I get you. Yeah.
As I was explaining to you while we took our little, you know, jam session to go listen, it's basically the theme songs of Battle Network 1 and 2, and I'm pretty sure they changed the main title theme song in Battle Network 3, which I was really disappointed in, but then I saw that they brought it back as the Proof of Courage theme in Battle Network 3. So when things start getting serious, that's when the song kicks in, and I think it's a good counter to the title theme, because, you know, it's almost like too obvious to play the title music when, you know, things are getting serious.
Yeah.
So they did that for the first 2, which is appropriate. Not that it's bad, but for the third one, it has even more significance because you're expecting a version of the title theme, but no, they do a callback to the first 2 games, which I'm not going to spoil anything, but Mega Man Battle Network 3 has a very good story, and so it just, I don't know, it's very significant, really hits hard, and like hell yeah, like I'm hyped. I want to go bust some viruses. Let's do it, you know.
You know, this was my first time hearing that song, and it's stuck in my head like already.
It's very catchy. I would also recommend. There's actually another one. I'll have to send it to you sometime.
Okay.
It's not it's the main theme for Battle Network 3. It's called Farewell, and which is like their credits theme. But there's like a vocalized version where there's like a chorus singing over it, and it's like really, really good.
Is that official?
Yeah, it's on the official soundtrack.
Okay, all right.
And that one is a version of the Battle Network 3 title theme. And so, I don't know, just if you've never played Battle Network, at least listen to the OST. There's a lot of really good songs, especially like the town music. Town music is great. But I really love the music when there's like a sudden turn in the plot where like things go really bad, or like, you know, like something evil is coming, you know, or like when there's something triumphant. Like Battle Network has such a great soundtrack for conveying those emotions that, you know, it's very pure and innocent and just kind of hits you really hard. And not that I'm complaining about the music in the other franchises, but I think they could all take a cue from Battle Network in the kind of like establishing really good theme songs. Like, say for instance, let's say like in X9, something happens and then like Zero comes in to like save the day or something like that. They should have it kind of like climax with like, I don't know, like a rendition of Zero's theme from like X2, so it's like bum 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 da da.
Yeah, okay.
Da, 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 you know, something like that. So like, you know, it kind of ties everything together. So like when you hear those songs, you're like, oh, I know what this is. I know what this means. You know, and like it kind of gives you like this emotional attachment to like what's happening on screen. You know.
Yeah. RPGs get excuse me. They get more kind of room to flex different emotions like that.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a benefit. But like I've always wanted to play the Battle Network games, and regrettably, my experience with Battle Network is network transmission.
Oh no! Don't know.
And that's it.
No, don't.
And some of the toys, because I thought the designs were pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I love the designs in Battle Network so much. Heat Gut style is still my favorite.
I was gonna bring up
Heat
Heat Guts because that's the one that I had. Because I'm like, oh my god, he changes how he looks.
I love
And
Heat Guts. He gets like a big beefy arm that he doesn't use for anything. In the anime,
Styling.
he like uses it to punch people, but in the game, it's just for looks.
It's for styling, man.
It is, you know, it's radical, dude. Yeah, man. Network Transmission is a beast all of its own. I strongly recommend starting Battle Network at Battle Network 2. A lot of people are like, why not start at 1? But honestly, 1, while it is a good game, because it was the start of the Battle Network series, hadn't quite gotten their foot on the ground correctly. They weren't quite perfected. I feel by Battle Network 3, that's when it's like, bam, they got the formula down, the game is fun. Did you know that there's a dedicated joke button in Battle Network 3?
What?
So, there's a thing you can do, we're getting way off topic here, but another good song, which you should all look up if you have the time, is the Navi Customizer music, which is basically, you can play like a little Tetris puzzle thing, where you slot in blocks of data for Mega Man EXE, and each one will give him like different buffs, and so you kind of have to figure out what pieces you can put where in Mega Man's data storage, and then like rotate them or move them or whatever, and it's done really expertly, and it's an excellent way of kind of like not halting your progress, but like slowing your progress, because as you play, you start getting ways of like either shrinking how much data they take up or being able to rotate the pieces. At first you can't rotate them, you just have to leave them how they are. I'm getting way off topic. The point is, there's a program block that you can stick in the Navi Customizer that's just called, I think it's called humor.exe or something. And instead of pressing the L button, which would normally have Mega Man tell you what your next objective is, he just tells you a joke. Like, it literally installs a sense of humor into Mega Man, and every time there's a lot of jokes. Like, there's a compilation of them online somewhere. But every time you press it, he tries to tell Lan a joke, and it's usually like a really bad dad joke, so I think you would appreciate them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would start with Battle Network 2, because the story in 2 is really good, and you don't need to have played 1 to appreciate it. And then I would also play 3, because 3 also has a great story, but also it's just a lot of fun to play.
It's it's kind of like how I would describe Mega Man 1.
Yeah.
It's got like those growing pains.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Man 1 versus Battle Network 1 are not nearly as bad. Like, Mega Man 1 is a far worse game in comparison to 2 versus Battle Network 1 versus Battle Network 2. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Mega Man Battle Network 1 had some growing pains, but it is fun. And if you really want to be a completionist, I would recommend going back and playing it after you've done 2 and 3, but you can pretty much just skip 1. It's not bad, it's just 2 and 3 is where it's at.
Yeah.
And 2, I believe, is where they introduced the Heat Guts, so that's where you can get the big old styling arm. Duo would be proud.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's just duo mode.
It's really good. Another one of my favorites from there is Bug Style, because that's super cool. I'm getting off topic. I can talk to you about Battle Network for forever, but since you haven't played them, you'll have no frame of reference. So
yeah, maybe I can play them and show my proof of courage.
Oh, there you go. Get your proof of courage off the back of a cereal box. If you send in 14 proofs of courage, you can get yourself a Mega Man Battle Network watch.
That's where you get Heat Gut style.
Yeah, you unlock Heat Gut style. Oh my gosh.
Well, nothing to do with Heat Guts, but something to do with completely unrelated. My next song.
Okay.
Remember last time when we were killing it with the segues? It's complete opposite.
It really is.
Gravity Beat Bood. He is back, and he is ready to throw his beehole all around. Let me tell you.
Yeah, man, he really knows how to throw that beehole. He throws it to the left, he throws it to the right.
Oh, it's straight up in the air.
Throws it up, throws it down. Oh my gosh.
Seriously, best song on X3.
Yeah,
you know,
hands down the best
so
song from X3. It's my absolute favorite. Like, it's funny because all the songs that I wanted to include on this list are ones that I figured you'd be putting, so I'm glad I didn't choose them because we'd have too much overlap. You're picking all the ones that I would pick if I didn't pick the ones I have. So
that's why we get along so well.
It is. We got like some weird like mental synergy going on here. Gravity Beat Bood. Oh, I love him. He's just a cool maverick all around. Yeah, he's a cool maverick. I like that he's based off of, it was like a rhino beetle. It looks like one. Mm-hmm. He has gravity powers, and his stage is really just beautiful looking, and like the music is awesome. Like, he's got a good color scheme. Like, there's so much good and he was one of the bosses I could beat when I was a kid. Yeah, like, come on. I feel like I don't know. This is weird to say. I feel like his stage is like the Storm Eagle of X3. You know what I mean? It even looks kind of similar. Yeah, you go outside and everything. Yeah, I get that. It looks kind of similar. The music is like similar in terms of quality. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, it's really good. It's just good. I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't know if it even necessarily like matches the stage. It's just such a good song that I love it. It's so good, yeah. Yeah. It's high energy, very, you know, go get 'em. It's very, it almost sounds like a party, you know? Yeah, you know, it starts off strong. It's not a slow build, it just it feels like a celebration almost, you know? It's just like, yeah, we're playing Mega Man, woo! Woohoo! You know, it feels great. Play a 0 in this one, woo! Oh my god! Yeah, it's great. It's just a G-dang good old time. Oh yeah. Slight tangent regarding Gravity Beetle. Excuse me, Beat Bood. I was about to say, who? I have a song, and I've held on to this song since I was like 13 years old, okay? So this is a very old file. Alright. It is a Gravity Beetle remix that is so good. It is my favorite Gravity Beetle. It's my favorite Mega Man X remix of all time. And I've had it since I was 13 years old, back in the days of Kazaa. If you guys are older. Oh yeah. If you don't remember Kazaa, it's like LimeWire. And if you don't remember LimeWire, I basically pirated it, okay? But it's not really pirating because it's a remix and someone put it out there for me to download. You'll have to send me that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send it to you. I still have it. It doesn't have a name. The file has no metadata, so I can't see who made it, when it was made, any of that other stuff. The only thing I can see, I think, is the last time it was modified, which was like back in like 2003 or something. Like that, because that's the last time I touched it, basically, or that's when it was created. Which that might not even be the original date. But I'm gonna put this around like 2002, 2003 when I first downloaded it. And I renamed it to Gravity Beetle Get Down because that's like the only thing I can think of, and it's like one of the songs where like you get down to it. It's just so good. And I am just now realizing that might be a gravity pun, but I didn't put that together those years ago when I named it. But regardless, it starts off really strong. It's got this like these kicking, you know, these like, you know, this really strong kicks, really good like claps in there. There's like some good like vocal samples. You know, there's like, oh, it's just so fast. Now, I'm going to send this to you, and maybe if you can, put in a clip of this as well. I'm putting a bounty on this song to find out who made it, because I can't find it. I don't know who made it. I want to know who they are. I want to give them credit. I want to praise them for giving me this piece of music that I've hung on to since I was 13, and I'm still listening to this day. I don't know. I gotta find out who did this. It's not on OC Remix when I looked, and maybe it's there now. I don't know. But last time I looked for it, wasn't on OC Remix, and there wasn't YouTube then, so I couldn't even go on YouTube to find it. It was literally just a file called Gravity Beetle Remix that I downloaded, and I listened to it, and that was it. That's all I had to go on. So someone find the song, please, because it's driving me crazy. I need to be able to die knowing that I found out who this song was made by.
Get to it. And thank you in advance. Man, that's Beat Bood. We said it.
That's Beat Bood. I want to spell it like beat, like B-E-A-T, like the beat.
Beat Bood.
Beat Bood, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's the
Yeah, that's the beat right there. There's the beat, and then there's the bood.
There's the bee and there's the hole. Okay.
Oh, yes, the bee hole. Bringing it back to the bee hole.
Can you escape the bee hole?
You can't escape the bee hole. You know, what if Bee Hole and Magnet Mine had a baby?
Oh, God.
I think the world's not ready for that kind of power. I'm sorry. Alright, so, now that we got all that out of the way, my song that I had is going to be this classic. And that is the Mega Man X Cliffside ending. I specify Cliffside ending because Mega Man X has 3 ending songs.
Yeah.
It was particularly difficult to track this one down on its own without actually just watching the ending, so thank you, Cole, for finding it and letting
You're
us
very
use
welcome. It's beautiful.
It is.
It's really so melancholy. I love it.
Yeah, it's this song. It's kind of weird. I spoiled it for myself when I was going through the sound test menu. And I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, like, no, hang on a minute. I've heard every single sound effect in every single song I've played so far. But I have not heard these, and it was basically the ending ones, because this is like before I ever beat Mega Man X. But this is like the first one I came across. And I listened to it, and I was kind of like enraptured by it. I'm like, what is this? What could this song possibly mean? And then I was on the hunt to like figure it out and like unlock, is this like the ending? Is this like, you know, something else? You know? And yeah, it's the ending to the first X game, which is still a very powerful scene, and like the music really sells it. You know, even though X isn't saying anything, the narration is kind of taking care of it for you. But even if you were to just have, like, I don't know, X standing on a cliff, no narration, just the music, and like, I don't know, like the waves moving on like the, you know, in the ocean, I feel like it would be just as powerful if you just let the music play, you know, to its completion. Yeah.
And all the text that's going with it, like it's like, you know, the ones that were sacrificed will never return. It's like, man, that's powerful. It's not true, but it's powerful.
Well, when you say it like that, yeah, you know, without the text, it's a very powerful visual and good audio, and then with the text, when you're reading it, it's like, oh crap, like this is like this ain't your grandpa's Mega Man. You know, you ain't gonna go fight an evil doctor again, like, you know, Rocky and Bullwinkle or something. You know, it's like serious. You know,
Yeah,
and
sure.
they make it out to be. It's like, I feel like it's when the Mega Man games started taking themselves seriously. You know.
Yeah.
This, like you said, the song is very melancholy, and it's almost like it's very beautiful, but it's just very melancholy. Like, there's no, I struggle to find any positive emotions coming out of this, but it has a really good, you know, feeling to it. And again, I've been saying this a lot for a lot of my selections. I feel it's another song that encapsulates the spirit of what Mega Man is about. You know, it's kind of like in Mega Man, you know, when you beat the bad guy, you know, oh, he might come back, you gotta watch out, you know, but it's still kind of like chipper and like, you know, yay, we had an adventure. But like for this, it's kind of like, yeah, you won, but like at what cost? Like, you know, there were still losses that happened.
Yeah, like there were tangible losses,
tangible
like to you
losses to you, the player, and to just the world as a whole. Because, like, don't forget, like, Sigma was like, you know, just beating the crap out of humanity up to this point, and so it really makes you feel for this kind of like is X the character in song form. That's how I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It captures the side of X when he's not fighting, whereas I feel the X1 intro stage and the X4 intro stage for X are kind of capturing more of like his fighting spirit. But this is kind of like the flip side to that. And I feel like you could always come back to the song and you'll always know exactly what X is going through, you know?
Yeah, you can hear the emotions that he's feeling.
Yes.
Because that's like X's gimmick, you know, feeling.
Yes, exactly. And so yeah, this one is just another woefully underutilized song. It's not remixed in any official capacity. It's not used more than once ever, which I guess kind of again makes it special. But like I guess what disappointed me is that there wasn't a rendition of this song in Maverick Hunter X I could point to.
Oh yeah, because it did that.
I mean, it did like a cutscene, and I did like it. But I would have liked if they, you know, used it at some point. Like, I don't know, like maybe while the credits are rolling and you have like X riding on the bike home or something, you know, like.
Oh my God, when he's riding away on the bike and he just leaves Zero's bike behind, man.
I know.
God, that's good.
Mega Man is so powerful. There's so many good themes there. Even though you're looking at like a goofy egg-shaped, you know, robot or whatever. Like there's a lot of stuff there that I feel people overlook, and I feel like this is one of those songs that anchors us and reminds us.
Yeah.
Have
you seen that? Have you seen that really good fan art? Like as far as I know, it's pretty popular. It was.
Oh, I think I know the
like
one.
It's X in the first armor, and it's all like beat up, and he's just looking over the cliff.
Yes, I have that picture somewhere on my computer. I don't know what happened to that artist, but they like stopped making art, which is unfortunate. Man,
yeah, because that song just screams, you know, that you know, he's just beaten and just like not happy. You know, it's like I saved the day, but you know. Yeah,
it's like you saved the day, but there's actual consequences. It's not like it's not an all's well that ends well kind of situation, because it didn't all end well. You know,
it's the difference in a episodic show and a serialized show. You know.
Yes.
It's all wrapped up in 22 minutes.
Yes.
It's like, well, now what?
If you want some extra feels, I don't know if there's like a better name for this or like who actually made it. There's like a music box remix that I have of this song, which is really good. It's very slow, but it hits just as hard.
Music box stuff makes me cry.
I know. That's I'm like, why am I clicking on this? I know it's gonna make me upset. But I did it anyway because I like to torture myself, and it was beautiful, and I wept manly robotic tears. But I'll send that to you at some point. But it's just called like Mega Man X Cliffside Music Box Remix, and I don't know who made it because it's on a channel where they do nothing but music box remixes. So I don't know if it's the same person or not. But regardless, really good. Like another one of those big, powerful, emotive songs from Mega Man, and yeah, I love it, and I just wish that I wish that it was used more. Like on what is it, Rockman Holic. They promised us there would be X music, and I think there's exactly 2 X tracks. And I was really disappointed that one of them wasn't the X1 ending theme. Like, come on.
They went with X5 versus Zero and
X5 versus Zero, and then the X3 ending, which I don't think is as good as the X1 ending, but it is a good ending.
But that was the first. X3 was the first one I beat, so.
Well, you have bias for X3, so.
I just love X3. It's the best.
I mean, it is a great game, so I'm not gonna argue there. All right. So do you have one more, or am I counting wrong?
No, I have one more. That is absolutely correct. So we're going a bit of the polar opposite in terms of how this feels, but here it is. Okay, Boomer Kawanger. All right.
I knew you were gonna say that, and yet I was surprised anyway.
But no, this has always been my favorite song since the first time I heard it. It's just, all right. I'm gonna go for a while, but
go for it. Go off,
it's so
Queen.
Good. Just that noise that it starts out with. What were you calling it? Like the...
I called it like an electro beep. I don't know what you would even describe it.
The electro beep.
It kind of sounds like Morse code. Like,
yeah. Oh man, I wonder if that translates to something.
Probably not, but you know, who knows?
It's like ah.
Yeah, it just translates to okay, Boomer.
But no, it's so good. Like when I would hear that back in the day, like I couldn't play this level for crap, you know. It was one of the hardest ones, and of course it's got the best song. So I'd always come here and just die immediately. But like, do you remember Yak Backs?
Oh, I have a Yak Back. It's in my closet somewhere.
Okay,
it's like the second edition one that had like the switches
the speed
to like
up and
slow down and do
man.
the funny noises. I still got a Yak Back. I know all about it.
Okay.
What you know about Yak Backs?
Okay, so for those who don't know, a Yak Back was for people our age that wanted to record 5 seconds of audio, and it was good enough. But I just like I turned up my TV like all the way, busted out the Yak Back, and then just got the the first part until it stopped, and I would just listen to that on repeat. Like when I had to have the game turned off.
That's clever. Making
my
little
god.
5-second loops over here, sampling off of your TV screen. I bet it sounded staticky as hell.
Oh, it sounded great for me. at the time, it's the best you can do.
Yeah,
but I also did that with the... I also did that with the Metal Mario song from Mario 64, but that's beside the point.
It's got that like dun 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 dun. It's so intense.
But no, this song, it sounds desperate. You know what I mean? Like it sounds like climbing this tower is the hardest thing that you've done so far.
It's a desperate climb. We're trying to get to the top of. It's literally an uphill battle.
Yeah, and then when it does the key change like near the end of the song, and it feels like hopeless, but then it goes back down to where it was, and it's like, oh yeah, I got this. You know, like the song is guiding you emotionally, and
it's the song, much like the stage, is rising you up and then keeping. It's got a lot of upward momentum. The song is, like you said, has a sense of desperation and urgency, and it feels like, you know, it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle, and then there comes a part where it kind of like almost crescendos, where it's like dun, 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 bum, 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 and then it just starts over again.
Oh, it's so good.
You know, and it's kind of like you reached the next. It almost feels like you reached the next platform. Sorry, give me a second. As I was saying, so this song almost feels like it's rising you up and building you up, and when it gets to that, like, you know, when it gets to that crescendo part that I you know just did, it almost feels like you hit, you landed on the next platform, and it's almost like you just have enough time to like catch your breath and then look up, and there's even more tower to climb. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the part after the elevator, and then you look up. I gotta climb the outside.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. It feels like, yes, you reached the next platform, and even though it feels like you're at the top, there's still more climbing. Dun, 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 bum, 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 and then it starts over again. You know, still climb some more. You know, it's not done making you work for it. You know, and then you go and you fight a middle-aged maverick, and
you fight your uncle.
You fight your uncle.
Little Uncle Quingus.
With Uncle Quingus with some questionable political views and thoughts on different minorities, and you're like, Uncle Quingus, you can't say that. And you shoot him in the face with a missile.
But no, I mean, Quanger and Beat Bood, you know, brothers as they are, you know, it's deserved because
they both have
they're the best songs
in
their games. Yeah,
you know, it's weird, but I feel like Boomer Quanger does have the best theme song, but it's not talked about nearly as much as Storm Eagle.
I was about to say Storm Eagle's like collectively the Hive Mind one that people love.
But I do.
But
feel
no, this one, this one blows it out of the water as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, definitely. If
I love Storm Eagle. But
I mean, yeah, I do love me some Storm Eagle.
It's nothing on this.
This has kind of got like a neat like techno feel to it too, you know. Like Storm Eagle is good. Like it feels like America the theme song, but you know, this is like I mean, you know, I always like to picture that Storm Eagle stage took place on like an Arizona like desert airfield, because like when you look out, it looks like you're in the middle of like a desert somewhere, you know. That's just me. So I always imagine Storm Eagle on top of being an eagle. I always pictured him as very American, even his stage. That's just me. That's my headcanon. But I'm getting off topic. For the other thing I wanted to get off topic on is just while we're still on X1, I just wanted to point out I love Chill Penguin stage so much. The theme song in Chill Penguin stage is really good. And I don't know what it is about that theme song that makes it sound Arctic. You know what I mean? There's something about it. I mean, it could be the intro the intro instrument, that it kind of to me it sounds like you're like banging icicles on an icicle xylophone to like get the sound. That's what I picture in my head, is like hitting ice like a xylophone. And I don't know, it just sounds very like Arctic and like expedition-y or whatever. And
just the instrumentation sounds cold.
It just does.
It's hard to describe, but when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and another cool thing to do, which I recommend everyone try at least once, listen to Chill Penguin's theme in stereo with headphones on, and then take one headphone off. And listen to the weird how the instruments go like doodle-a-doo, doodle-a-doo, doodle-a-doo.
It's so weird.
It's very strange how it goes up and down like that, and you know, depending on which ear you're listening with. I first discovered this when I tried playing the game, and for some odd reason the cartridge wasn't sitting right, and it just wasn't playing in stereo, so I was only getting like the left side of the screen. It was very weird. Hey there, everyone. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties, but we are back at it, and we are ready to power through.
It turned into another Kung Pao discussion.
It did. Something happened. There was technical stuff, and then when we got back together, we made Kung Pao references. So once again, please go watch Kung Pao. It's a fantastic movie. Steve Odekirk, if you're out there, I love you. Please autograph my something. I don't know what.
Be on the show, please.
Yeah, come on the show and just please make funny voices at us. We'll reenact Kung Pao since you did literally every voice on it.
Hey, he did all but one. He didn't do Woe.
Well, that's because Woe was an actress. Like
I know.
He's the only other person in the movie that was actually there. Oh my god! I guess except for like Evil Betty's
and the dancing guy.
Well, he doesn't have any speaking lines.
And now we're back to Kung Pao.
We're back on Kung Pao. We tried leaving. Just when I think I'm done, they pull me back in. So, my next song that I have on my list, my final entry, is this lovely piece of music. And that song is A Man's Life, otherwise known as Gutsman's favorite karaoke song.
That song was an experience.
It certainly was an experience, a very manly experience.
Oh.
This song comes from Mega Man Battle and Chase. I actually don't know where the song plays. I think it might be one of his ending themes. But essentially... a
lot of ending themes today.
Yeah, there's a lot of ending themes. This is the first one that I think belongs to a Robot Master, though. Because, I mean, how many... Robot Masters don't usually have ending themes, because, you know...
Yeah, they do. Boo, boo, boo,
well, I guess that counts. Oh, what key is that in? Anyway. This is called A Man's Life, and I don't know anything about it, so I'm sorry to say that I have no input on the lyrics. All I know, from what I can glean out of the very minor Japanese that I understand, is that it's basically just singing about, like, you know, being like a big strong man, like how Gutsman is, you know, and like being a man is like honorable, and like, you know, it's good to be a man, and you know, like, you know, he's like a hard worker, you know, stuff like that. And I know towards the end they say something about like the power of Gutsman, you know, power Shobuda Gutsman. Whatever that is.
We need to get a karaoke version of this, like just that, and then you
I'm
can
really surprised there's not a karaoke version of what is supposed to be a stereotypical Japanese karaoke song. That's really strange to me. Maybe it's out there. I don't know. There's karaoke versions of everything. Is there a karaoke version of Electronic Communication?
I don't know.
If there is, no one would be able to sing it. It's just impossible. That is the epitome of like putting song lyrics in a blender. This is too many syllables. Our gaijin mouths can't form the sounds fast enough. But we can be manly like Gutsman, and we should model our lives after his hardworking go-getter attitude, because man, I do love me some Gutsman.
I mean, no one in Mega Man Classic is more of a go-getter than Guts Man, because how many games has he been in some form or another?
Yeah,
Like,
Gutsman,
Wily will not let him sleep.
Yeah, Gutsman is just everywhere, dude. He's like every which way. There's all these variations of him, and you know, man just wants to put in some hard work, and he happens to love karaoke. This song, I believe, is a direct reference to how in Mega Man and Bass, if you look at his data CD, it says that he likes karaoke. And so I believe this is like in direct reference to imply like this is a song that Gutsman would sing at karaoke. Which
that's cool.
Which
he brings his own CD and pops it in.
I was gonna say, which is fortunate because it's a song about him.
Yep.
So
no, he uses his actual data CD.
Yes, it's on there as well. when Dr. Light picked it up, he's like, "Is this a mixtape?" You know. But that is a man's life.
That was good. It was funny.
I just love how out of place it is for Mega Man music.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. More people should play Battle and Chase.
It's a fun game. I remember it being pretty fun. Yeah,
currently the only way you can really play it is if you have a Japanese PlayStation or PlayStation 2, or if you get the Mega Man X collection for PS2. This is not the Legacy collection, but just the
first collection.
The original X collection, which only had X1 through X6 on it. And an unlockable bonus they had for it was Rockman Battle and Chase, or they technically retranslated it to Mega Man Battle and Chase, which, knowing what I know now about Battle and Chase, they were already halfway through doing, because there was ads being run for Battle and Chase in America, but then the game just never came out, because for, I don't know.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and it kind of stinks because the game is good and it's all in English now, but they took out all of the side characters. So before each race, there would be, or before, after, and during, there'd be like little commentators who would say stuff. And usually before a race, one character who is really adorable and should be used more often, it's this like race girl named Plum. And she has like little motorized Heelys on. It's great. And she would go out to your...
Extreme.
Well, that's like a mid-2000s thing, really.
Hey, that was the mid-2000s extreme.
It was.
I don't know what the word for it was.
I don't know. Shui? Whatever.
Shui.
Anyway, she would come out to your racer, and then she would, like, have a short conversation with your racer. So, like, she would... If you were playing, the camera would rotate around to the front of your car. She would roll up to it, and then would say, like, oh, hey, you know... How do you feel about this upcoming race? And then they'd be like, I'm gonna win, or, you know, I'm gonna go for first place, or, you know, they'd say like a neat little thing, and then you'd be like, well, there you have it, folks, and then she'd get off the track, and then the race would start, you know. And there was other little commentators, I think, before, and I think before when you're picking your parts, and then another one after the race, or something like that. That's a Ripod, or Repod, or Rippity Dippity, whatever his name is. He's
Rippity Dippity.
I don't know what his name is. He's like a blue guy, and he has like a flat head, and he looks like a TV show announcer. I don't know.
Someone update the wiki and change it to Rippity Dippity.
Rippity Dippity. Rippity Doodah. And I think there was a third character who like flew around, and I think he had like a camera, kind of like Lakitu style. I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know. Whatever. Play Battle and Chase and sing karaoke with Gutsman. You too can be a powerful man like him.
Yes.
So those are my choices.
Yeah. I say this every time, but a lot more. We had a lot more to say about these than I expected.
I know. I mean, this always happens. Or I mean, I even told you about that. I was like, yeah. You know, anyone watching my 2019 review, you know, like, go check out Ramblin Reploids, where we say this will be quick, and then we talk about it for 3 hours, and that's just how it goes.
I mean, are you surprised at this point?
I'm really not. I mean, I'm fine with it. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, this is a great topic. Thank you, The Real Zero, for suggesting this one. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, I had a lot of good things to say about the soundtracks. There's so many more songs we could pick, but again, for the sake of expediency, we kind of narrowed it down to like 5 each, I think. I would talk about my honorable mentions, but I think I've already mentioned them along the way. as we were talking, and a lot of the ones that I would have picked if I didn't pick these are ones that you already picked, so that's great. So we lined up synergy.
Yeah, and I'll throw some honorable mentions on the screen just by name. Go look these songs up too.
Yeah, they're all really good stuff.
Yep. Well, I guess that's it for us. Do you have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts is that Mega Man is a much sadder franchise than I realized after listening to this music. I'm just kidding. No. Final thoughts is that there's a lot of good music. Mega Man has always been kind of known for its music, maybe not as well known as it should be, but Mega Man has a lot of emotion to it if you stop and listen. So
it rocks, man.
Get out. Give me the password to your channel. We're done. No. Yeah, just go back and appreciate that music, guys. It's really good stuff. Feel something.
Yep.
All right.
Everybody.
That's all for me. It was a pleasure being here as always. Thank you everyone for joining us. Comment down below what your favorite song was. If you have any, other top songs or particularly emotional songs or just anything, even goofy ones. If there's anything fun, tell us some good song memories if you have any. We had a few today. And yeah, we're eager to hear back from you.
Yep.
Bless you.
All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Yep.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Big thanks to the Real Zero for sponsoring this episode. Thanks to Dornor and our other supporters too. And thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Hey, we got wieners too, don't forget.
Oh, I want some wieners.
Remember the microphone is still on.
Give me your wieners.